How to Become Top 5 in the World by Earl Nightingale. Lesson 1. The Magic of Your Mind. Have you ever stopped to consider the astonishing power that resides between your ears? Just think of it. The human mind, your mind, is the most powerful force in your personal universe. What you think about, you become. It really is that simple and that profound. Your mind is like a fertile garden, constantly ready to produce. And just like any garden, it will grow something whether you plant deliberately or not. Leave it unattended, and weeds, negative thoughts, doubts, and fears will grow automatically. But tend to it carefully, plant the right seeds, and you'll harvest success beyond your imagination. The average person never realizes this truth. They drift through life reacting to whatever comes their way, wondering why their circumstances never improve. But you're not going to be average, are you? No, you're reading this book because something inside you knows you're meant for more. Here's the secret. The top 5 understand. We become what we think about most of the time. This isn't wishful thinking or fantasy. It's the fundamental law that governs human achievement. Your thoughts trigger feelings. Your feelings prompt actions. Your actions produce results. It all begins with what you allow to occupy your mind. Think about poverty, and you'll notice every limitation and obstacle in your path. Think about prosperity, and you'll begin seeing opportunities you never noticed before. Your mind is literally like a magnet, drawing to you the people, circumstances, and results that match your dominant thoughts. Success starts with deciding exactly what you want from life. Most people never take this essential first step. They have vague wishes and dreams, but never crystallize them into clear, specific goals. Without that clarity, the mind has nothing concrete to work toward. Picture your ideal life in vivid detail. What work would you do? How much would you earn? How much would you earn? Who would you spend time with? How would your days unfold? The more clearly you can envision it, the more powerfully your mind can work to create it. Your subconscious mind doesn't judge whether what you tell it is good or bad, possible or impossible. It simply accepts what you repeatedly feed it and goes to work making that your reality. This is why people who expect to fail usually do, and those who expect success often achieve it. The mind is always working to prove you right. This isn't magic. It's the natural law of how human beings function. The top 5 of achievers in any field understand this principle and use it deliberately. They carefully choose their thoughts, knowing these thoughts shape their destiny. Starting today, guard your thinking. Be as careful about what you put into your mind as you are about what you put into your body. Feed it images of success, prosperity, health, and joy. Reject thoughts of lack, limitation, and failure. Remember, your work holds the key to greatness, but that work begins in your mind, long before you see the results in the world around you. The magic of your mind is waiting for your command. What will you direct it to create? Lesson 2. The Strangest Secret. Hello, friend. Today I'm going to share with you what I consider the strangest secret in the world. What makes it strange is not that it's hidden or complex, quite the opposite. This secret is hiding in plain sight, available to anyone who cares to notice it. Yet so few people ever grasp its power. Here it is. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. Let that sink in for a moment. Not fame, not fortune, not power, though these may come as byproducts. True success is making steady progress toward something meaningful to you. Look around you. Most people drift through life like ships without rudders, blown by the winds of circumstance, carried by currents, not of their choosing. They live by accident rather than by design. They react to life instead of creating it. This is why so few rise to the top 5 in any field. The difference between the top performers and the masses isn't talent or luck. It's direction. When you set a clear goal, something magical happens. Your mind, that magnificent servant, finally has instructions to follow. Without clear direction, it simply responds to whatever demands the day brings. Think of your mind as the world's most powerful computer. What good is all that processing power without a program to run? Your goals are the programming that tells your mind what to focus on, what to notice, what to move toward. This is why most people never find what they're looking for. They haven't told themselves what they're looking for. They haven't programmed their internal guidance system with a destination. Now here's something important. Your rewards in life will always match your service to others. The money you receive is simply a measure of the value you've delivered. Want more rewards? Deliver more value. It's that simple. The great achievers throughout history understood this. Edison didn't focus on getting rich. He focused on bringing light to the world. Henry Ford didn't obsess over wealth. He wanted to put America on wheels. Their rewards came as a natural result of the value they created. What worthy goal calls to you? What service could you render that would improve others' lives? The answer lies in that space where your talents meet others' need. Starting today, I want you to create what I call a goal clarity card. Write your main goal on a small card, something that fits in your wallet or purse. Make it specific and meaningful. Carry this card with you everywhere. Read it 3 times daily, when you wake up, at midday, and before sleeping. As you read it, think about one action, however small, you can take today to move closer to this goal. Then, take that action. This simple practice will separate you from 95 of people. While they drift through life, hoping for good things to happen, you'll be creating your future deliberately, one day at a time. Remember, we become what we think about. Give your mind the gift of direction and watch as the strangest secret becomes your greatest advantage. Lesson 3. The Field of Diamonds. Have you ever heard the story of the man who sold his farm to search for diamonds, only to have the new owner discover one of the richest diamond mines in the world right there on that same property? What a tragedy. Yet, how many of us doing exactly the same thing in our own lives? Your greatest opportunities aren't waiting for you in some distant place or future time. They're right where you are now, this very minute. The field of diamonds you seek is under your feet. I've observed something fascinating about the most successful people in our world. They didn't necessarily leap to new ventures or constantly chase the next big thing. Instead, they looked deeply at what was already before them. They perfected it. They added extraordinary value to ordinary situations. Think about it. The person who becomes exceptional at their current job often finds opportunities opening that others miss entirely. The writer who commits to mastering their craft with current projects soon discovers readers eagerly awaiting their work. The parent who fully engages with their children builds relationships that become life's greatest treasures. Success isn't about frantically searching elsewhere. It's about digging deeper where you already stand. Consider the simple math of small improvements. If you improve just 1% each day at anything, your work, your relationships, your health, in 1 year, you'll be nearly 8 times better. That's the miracle of compound improvement. Small, consistent actions create remarkable results over time. Most people miss this truth because they're impatient. They want dramatic changes overnight. But that's not how real success works. The oak tree doesn't spring up in a week. It grows steadily, ring by ring, year after year, until it stands magnificent and strong. Your current situation contains hidden opportunities if you'll only look carefully. That difficult customer, they're teaching you patience and communication skills that will serve you forever. That tedious task, it's building your attention to detail and persistence. That challenging team member, they're strengthening your leadership abilities. Don't make the mistake of constantly looking over the fence, thinking the grass is greener elsewhere. Water your own grass. Cultivate what's before you. The very circumstances you might wish to escape could be hiding the greatest diamonds of opportunity. Remember this eternal truth. Opportunity comes dressed in work clothes. It rarely announces itself with fanfare. It shows up disguised as problems to solve, challenges to overcome, and people to serve. The person who recognizes this truth gains an incredible advantage in life. Today, I challenge you to stop overlooking what's already in your hands. Your current job, relationships, abilities, and circumstances are filled with untapped potential. Your field of diamonds is waiting to be discovered, not somewhere else, but right where you stand right now. Lesson 4. The 30-day test. The secret to transforming your life lies not in some magical discovery, but in something far more accessible. Your daily habits. What you do each day matters infinitely more than what you do once in a while. If I could share just one fundamental truth with you about achieving greatness, it would be this. New habits take time to form, but once established, they change everything. Think of your mind as a field where you're planting new seeds of success. These seeds need regular watering, consistent sunlight, and most importantly, time to grow. This is where our 30-day test comes in. It takes approximately 30 days of consistent action to establish a new pattern of thinking and behaving. Not 7 days, not 14, a full 30 days of deliberate practice. The remarkable thing about this process is that consistency matters far more than intensity. 5 minutes of focused reading every single day will transform your knowledge base more profoundly than cramming for hours once a week. A daily 10-minute walk will reshape your health more effectively than an exhausting workout done sporadically. I've observed this principle at work in the lives of thousands of successful people. They didn't become extraordinary through dramatic overnight changes. They simply installed small positive habits and protected those habits with unwavering commitment. Day after day, they showed up. While others made excuses, they made progress. Consider a ship crossing the ocean. If it alters its course by just 1 degree, that tiny change, maintained over the journey, will lead to a completely different destination. Your habits work the same way. Small positive actions, consistently taken, compound over time into tremendous results. The challenge is that most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a day and dramatically underestimate what they can achieve in a month. This impatience leads them to abandon their efforts before the magic of compounding can take effect. That's why I'm asking you to try this simple but powerful exercise. Select one small positive habit. It might be reading 10 pages of a good book, walking for 15 minutes, practicing gratitude, or spending time visualizing your goals. Choose something modest enough that you can do it without fail, even on your busiest days. Now commit to performing this habit at the same time each day for 30 straight days. Keep a simple calendar where you mark each successful day with an X. Your only job is to not break the chain of X. The first week will require discipline. The second week will build momentum. By the third week, you'll feel a magnetic pull toward your new habit, and by day 30, you'll have established a new pattern that feels natural, even necessary, to your daily life. This 30-day test is the bridge between knowing what to do and actually becoming the person who does it. While others merely wish for better circumstances, you'll be quietly building the habits that guarantee them. Remember, we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. Build better systems through this 30-day commitment, and you'll join the top 5% who turn their dreams into destiny. Lesson 5. The purpose-driven life. Have you ever wondered why some people seem so alive, so energized by their work, while others merely exist from day to day? The difference is purpose. A purpose-driven life is the key that unlocks the door to becoming truly exceptional in our world. Each of us arrives on this earth with unique gifts, talents, and abilities. These aren't random accidents. They are signposts pointing toward our special purpose. Think about it. What comes naturally to you may be challenging for someone else. What energizes you might drain another person completely. These differences aren't flaws. They're nature's way of ensuring we each have something valuable to contribute. The great secret of fulfillment is this. Your greatest joy will come from using your special talents to serve others. We often make the mistake of chasing money directly, but the truth is that money naturally flows toward value. Create genuine value for others, and the rewards will follow as naturally as summer follows spring. Look at any truly successful person. What separates them from the rest isn't just talent or luck. It's that they've aligned their work with something meaningful beyond themselves. They've found ways to turn their abilities into service. Whether they heal the sick, build useful products, create beautiful art, or simply make others smile, their success comes from improving lives. How do you discover this purpose? Start by noticing when you feel most alive. What activities cause you to lose track of time? What problems do you solve effortlessly that others find difficult? The intersection of what you love, what you're good at, and what others need, that's where your purpose lives. Purpose isn't always dramatic or world-changing in obvious ways. Sometimes it's found in the small daily acts that make life better for those around you. The parent who nurtures a child's confidence, the worker who brings exceptional care to crafting something useful, the friend who truly listens. These purpose-driven people change the world in their own essential way. The wonderful truth is that when you live with purpose, you naturally rise into the top 5% of humanity, not because you pursued status, but because you pursued meaning. When your work connects to something larger than yourself, you tap into energy and creativity that the merely self-interested never access. Every morning, ask yourself, how can I serve today? Every evening, reflect on how well you used your gifts. As you make service your focus, watch how your own life transforms. Problems that once seemed important shrink away. Opportunities you never noticed suddenly appear. And gradually, without even trying for it directly, excellence becomes your natural state. Your purpose is like a compass that points toward your highest self. Follow it faithfully, and you'll not only reach the top 5%, you'll discover that success and significance have become one and the same. Lesson 6. The Law of Cause and Effect. Did you know there's a law as certain as gravity that governs every aspect of your success? It's the law of cause and effect, and understanding it will transform your life forever. Nothing in this world happens by accident. Success leaves clues. The house you live in, the job you have, the money in your bank account. Each of these effects has specific causes that created them. Your life today is the sum total of all the choices you've made up until now. The wonderful news is that by changing your actions today, you can dramatically alter your results tomorrow. Think about a garden for a moment. If you plant tomato seeds and provide water and sunlight, what will grow? Tomatoes, of course. Not corn, not carrots, but tomatoes. The universe operates with perfect precision. When you understand this simple truth, you'll never again wonder why certain results show up in your life. What causes are you setting in motion today? Each thought you think, each word you speak, each action you take. These are the seeds you're planting. And make no mistake, you will harvest exactly what you've planted. Look at the top 5 of achievers in any field. Did they arrive there by luck? Never. They followed specific paths, took specific actions, maintained specific mindsets. They created causes that led to predictable effects. And you can do exactly the same thing. I've met thousands of successful people in my life, and I've yet to meet a single one who succeeded by accident. They made choices. They developed skills. They provided value to others. They persisted when others quit. These causes created the effects of their success as surely as night follows day. Now, let me ask you, what effects would you like to create in your life? More income, better relationships, improved health. Whatever you desire, there are specific causes that will bring it into reality. If you want more income, focus on providing more value. If you want better relationships, become a better listener and show more appreciation. If you want improved health, change your eating and exercise habits. The formula never fails. Too many people spend their lives hoping for better results while continuing the same actions. They plant weeds and pray for flowers. This magical thinking keeps them stuck in mediocrity. The top 5 know better. They study the causes that create their desired effects and then systematically implement them. Starting today, become a student of cause and effect in your own life. When you see something you want, ask, what causes would produce this effect? When you experience something you don't want, ask, what causes created this, and how can I change them? This way of thinking puts you in the driver's seat of your life. No more blaming circumstances or other people. No more waiting for luck to change. You become the architect of your destiny by consciously creating the causes that lead to your desired effects. Remember, friends, this law is working every minute of every day. It never takes a vacation. The question is, will you work with it or against it? The choice, as always, is yours. Lesson 7. The Power of Attitude. Your attitude is the most priceless possession you own. It costs nothing to produce, yet everything in your life flows from it. I've always maintained that your attitude determines your altitude in life, how high you'll soar, how far you'll go, and ultimately, whether you'll join that top 5 we're working toward Consider for a moment the last time you faced a significant challenge. What determined your success wasn't the challenge itself, but how you chose to respond to it. Two people can face identical circumstances. One sees defeat, the other opportunity. The difference? Attitude, plain and simple. The remarkable truth about attitude is that it's entirely within your control. You can't always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose how you respond. This power of choice is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Think of attitude as the lens through which you view the world. If your lens is smudged with negativity, everything appears distorted and grim. But clean that lens with positive expectation, and suddenly opportunities appear where none existed before. I've known countless men and women who rose from the most challenging backgrounds to achieve remarkable success. They weren't born with special advantages. They simply refused to let circumstances dictate their attitude. Instead, they chose to maintain a positive outlook, regardless of external conditions. Your mind works much like a garden. Plant seeds of positivity, water them with gratitude, and you'll harvest success. Allow weeds of negativity to take root, and they'll choke out everything worthwhile. The cultivation of your attitude requires daily attention. I've observed that the top fives in any field share this common trait: an unshakable positive attitude. They expect good things to happen. They look for the advantage in every setback. They speak words of possibility rather than limitation. And most importantly, they understand that maintaining this attitude is a moment-by-moment choice. Is a positive attitude alone enough for success? Certainly not. But without it, all other success factors become significantly harder to develop. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. Consider starting each day with this simple question: what kind of attitude will I choose today? Then make a conscious decision to adopt the attitude of the person you wish to become, not the person circumstances might push you to be. Attitude isn't about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about facing those realities with the confidence that you have what it takes to overcome them. The optimist doesn't deny the storm. He simply believes he can navigate through it. Your attitude will be tested daily. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall through. Obstacles will appear without warning. In these moments, your choice of attitude becomes most critical. Will you allow circumstances to pull you down, or will you rise above them? The answer to that question may well determine whether you join the top five or remain with the masses. Choose wisely, for your attitude truly determines your altitude. Lesson 8. The miracle of daily progress. Most people have no idea how truly powerful small daily actions can be. I've discovered during my years of studying success that the difference between the top fives and everyone else isn't some grand magical talent. It's their ability to take consistent daily steps in the right direction. This principle is so simple that many dismiss it, yet so powerful that it can completely transform your life. Think of it this way: if you improve just one each day, within a year you'll be 37 times better than when you started. Not 365 better, but 37 times better. This is the miracle of compound progress. Just as money compounds in a bank account when left untouched, your skills, knowledge, and abilities compound when you consistently invest in them. The top performers in any field understand this secret. They don't try to make massive leaps forward in a single day. They focus on getting a little bit better each day, knowing that these small improvements stack up over time to create extraordinary results. Consider reading just 10 pages of a good book each day. This small habit might seem insignificant, but it adds up to about 3,650 pages per year, roughly 12 to 15 books. This alone puts you ahead of 90. 5 of people when it comes to knowledge acquisition. Most people won't read a single book this year. The same principle applies to any skill you wish to develop. If you practice playing piano for just 20 minutes daily, you'll have accumulated over 120 hours of practice in a year. This is enough time to go from complete beginner to being able to play several beautiful pieces with confidence. The miracle of daily progress works because of 2 powerful forces. First, small actions are sustainable. You can maintain them day after day without burning out. Second, consistency creates momentum, making each subsequent action easier than the last. The top 5 in any field aren't necessarily working harder than everyone else. They're working consistently. They show up even when they don't feel like it. They practice when others make excuses. They read when others watch television. They invest in themselves when others spend frivolously. Remember, time will pass regardless of what you do with it. 1 year from now, you will arrive at a destination. The question is, where? If you commit to daily progress in an important area of your life, you'll find yourself in the top 5 before you know it. Make no mistake about it. Daily progress isn't glamorous. There will be days when you don't see results, when you feel like you're standing still or even moving backward. But trust the process. The magic happens when you stay the course despite these feelings. The people who reach the top 5s are simply those who didn't quit when progress seemed slow. Start today. Choose one area where you want to excel. Determine the smallest possible daily action you can take to move forward. Then do it, not just today, but every day. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. This is the miracle of daily progress. Lesson 9. The power of daily discipline. Success isn't complicated, but it is exacting. The top 5 in any field are not necessarily smarter or more talented than everyone else. They simply do what the other 95 are unwilling to do. Practice daily discipline. It's a simple truth that has transformed countless lives, and it can transform yours too. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. The men and women who have climbed to the summit of achievement understand that discipline isn't punishment. It's the highest form of self-respect. Consider the concert pianist who practices scales for hours each day, or the Olympic athlete who trains when others sleep. They know something that average performers don't. Greatness is built in those small, unglamorous moments, when no one is watching and no immediate reward is given. What separates the top performers from the rest is their willingness to pay the price daily. They've mastered the art of doing the difficult things that others avoid. While the majority seek comfort, the exceptional few embrace necessary discomfort as the pathway to growth. Your daily habits are the invisible architecture of your life. Each day you're either building toward your dreams or drifting away from them. There is no standing still. The small decisions you make when no one is looking ultimately determine where you'll stand in life. Imagine 2 people with identical talents and opportunities. One practices his craft for 1 focused hour daily, without fail. The other works sporadically, putting in effort only when inspiration strikes or when deadlines loom. After 5 years, the gap between them will be so vast that most would attribute it to luck or natural talent, missing the real story written in the pages of their daily calendars. Daily discipline compounds like interest in a bank account. At first, the results seem insignificant, perhaps even disappointing, but given enough time, the compound effect creates results that appear almost magical to outside observers. The secret of the top 5 isn't found in Herculean bursts of effort or dramatic sacrifices. It's in the quiet power of showing up day after day, especially on days when motivation is nowhere to be found. On those days, discipline carries you forward when inspiration has abandoned you. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. The champions in any field aren't those who never falter. They're the ones who get back on track quickly after they stumble. They understand that 1 missed day is a rest. 2 is the beginning of a new habit. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. The distance between where you are and where you want to be is measured not in miles, but in daily disciplines. Each day is a vote for the person you wish to become. The path to the top 5 begins with a single question. What one action, if done consistently, would most improve your life? Identify it, schedule it, and protect that time as if your future depends on it. Because it does. This is the way of the exceptional, and it's available to anyone willing to pay the price of daily discipline. Lesson 10. The uncommon path to excellence. The world is filled with average people doing average things in average ways. They clock in, they clock out. They drift through life wondering why they never break through to that upper tier of achievement. But you are not destined for average. You're reading these words because something inside you knows there's more, much more, that you're capable of. Here's a truth you must understand. The top 5 in any field don't just work harder. They work differently. They work differently. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. And the quality of your work flows directly from that thinking, what separates the excellent from the ordinary. First, it's their standard. While most people ask, what's the least I can do? The top performers ask, what's the most I can become? Excellence isn't something you do occasionally. It's who you are consistently. It's who you are consistently. Consider the humble violinist. An amateur practices until they get it right. A master practices until they cannot get it wrong. That's the difference in standards that creates the difference in results. The path to the top 5 demands that you become a master of your craft. This requires deliberate practice. Not merely putting in hours, but putting in hours, but putting in hours, but putting in hours with complete focus, constantly pushing past your comfort zone. When others are satisfied, you're studying. When others quit, you're refining. When others make excuses, you make adjustments. Your work reveals your character. It shows what you really believe when no one is watching. The top 5 understand that excellence isn't an accident. It's a habit forged through thousands of small decisions to do things right rather than take shortcuts. Think about this. The gap between mediocrity and excellence is much smaller than most people imagine. Often it comes down to giving just 5 more effort than everyone else is willing to give. That small edge, applied consistently over time, creates dramatic differences in results. The rewards for being in the top 5 are exponential, not linear. The person who is 10 better doesn't earn just 10 more. They often earn 50 or 100 more. They often earn 50 or 100 more. The top violinist doesn't earn twice what the average violinist earns. They may earn 10 or 20 times more. That's the leverage that comes from excellence. Start by deciding exactly what field you want to excel in. You cannot be in the top 5 of everything, but you can be in the top 5s of everything. But you can be in the top 5s of something. Choose wisely, then commit completely. Next, study the best in your field. What do they do differently? What standards do they maintain? What standards do they maintain? What habits have they formed? Excellence leaves clues if you're observant enough to notice them. Then raise your standards. Decide today that good enough isn't good enough anymore. Make excellence your minimum acceptable standard. When you do this, you'll find yourself naturally moving away from mediocrity and toward mastery. Remember, your work isn't just what you do. It's a reflection of who you are. When you commit to excellence in your work, you commit to excellence in your work. You commit to excellence in yourself. And that is the surest path to joining the top 5 in the world. Lesson 11. The magnificent power of your decisions. Isn't it remarkable how the entire direction of your life hinges on the decisions you make each day? I've observed throughout my many years of studying successful people that the top 5, aligning any field, share one common trait. They make decisions with extraordinary clarity, and they stand by them. Most folks drift through life, letting circumstances dictate their choices. They become human pinballs, bouncing from one situation to another without purpose or direction. But you have the power to be different. You can grab the steering wheel of your life with both hands and decide exactly where you're heading. The quality of your life comes down to the quality of your decisions. When you look at people who have risen to the top of their fields, whether in business, arts, sports, or service, you'll find they made firm decisions about what they wanted and refused to be swayed from their course. Consider this truth. Indecision is a decision itself, a decision to remain exactly where you are. Every moment you postpone making a clear choice about your direction, you've chosen the path of drift, and drift never carries you to extraordinary shores. The top 5 understand that decisions must be followed by immediate action. A decision without action is merely a wish. When you truly decide on something, you cut off all other possibilities and focus your energy like a laser beam on your chosen path. Here's what happens when you make a real decision. Your brain begins working in remarkable ways. It starts noticing opportunities you were blind to before. It finds solutions to problems that seemed insurmountable Your subconscious mind becomes your greatest ally in achieving what you've decided upon. Many years ago, I knew a young man who decided he would become a successful broadcaster despite having no connections or experience. He didn't just hope or wish for this career. He didn't just hope or wish for this career. He decided. He cut off all other possibilities in his mind. Within weeks of making this firm decision, doors began opening that seemed invisible before. His clarity of purpose made him magnetic to the very opportunities he needed. Your decisions reveal your true priorities. Look at how you spend your time and money. These show what you've really decided is important, regardless of what you might say. The top 5 ensure their daily actions align perfectly with their biggest decisions. Remember this: you are just one decision away from a totally different life. One firm, committed decision can alter everything. The moment you decide to become excellent at what you do, to serve others at the highest level, to persist where others quit, that's when your journey to the top 5 truly begins. Make your decisions boldly, with conviction. Don't let fear or doubt water them down. The world steps aside for the person who knows where they're going. You have within you, right now, everything you need to make decisions that will transform your life. The power has always been yours. Use it today and watch as your life begins to reflect the magnificence of your clearest, most committed decisions. Lesson 12. The journey never ends. Success is not a destination, but rather a continuous journey of growth and self-discovery. Those who reach the top 5 in the world understand one fundamental truth. The moment you believe you've arrived is the moment you begin to fall behind. Think about this. Every morning when the sun rises, you have a choice. You can rest on yesterday's accomplishments, or you can ask yourself, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? The top performers in any field never stop asking this question. Remember the story of the bamboo tree. For 4 years after planting, you see virtually nothing. No visible signs of growth above the soil. Then suddenly, in the 5th year, the bamboo shoots up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. Was this sudden growth? Not at all. For those 4 silent years, the bamboo was developing an elaborate root system that would support its eventual height. Your success works the same way. There will be periods where your progress seems invisible, both to yourself and others. Both to yourself and others. But beneath the surface, you're building the foundation for remarkable achievement. The great achievers of history understood that mastery is an endless pursuit. Edison didn't stop after inventing the light bulb. Einstein didn't rest after publishing his theory of relativity. They continued learning, exploring, and creating until their final days. Here's a powerful truth. The top 5 know that learning never stops. They read constantly. They seek out mentors even at the peak of their careers. They remain curious. When others say, I know enough, they ask, what else can I discover? Your capacity to grow is unlimited. The human mind is like a muscle. The more you challenge it, the stronger it becomes. Each book you read, each problem you solve, each skill you develop expands your capabilities in ways you cannot fully measure. Consider how you respond to setbacks. Average people see failure as evidence they should stop trying. The top 5 see failure as feedback, valuable information about what doesn't work. Thomas Watson, who built IBM, said, if you want to succeed, double your failure rate. Wisdom comes from experience often comes from poor judgment. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your contributions. Are you giving your very best in your work? Are you serving others with excellence? Are you creating value that outlasts you? These are the questions that the top 5 continually ask themselves. Start today by embracing the mindset of perpetual growth. Wake up each morning with the humble recognition that you have much to learn and much to give. Be grateful for how far you've come, but hungry for how far you've come, but hungry for how much further you can go. The journey to the top 5 has no end point. It's a daily commitment to excellence, a moment. By moment choice to give your best, and in that commitment you'll find not just achievement, but the deep satisfaction that comes from becoming all you're capable of being.